I'm just so glad the Blazers did something, dude.
Yeah.
I was scared we weren't gonna do anything and just draft some bum.
No, but this I could not be happier about.
Me either. I did not consider him an option at all, but I just wasn't thinking about the fact Houston's falling apart, and then he obviously became available because of that. And I just perfect, dude. I'd way rather have Covington than Gallo.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess this does kind of close the door on a Danilo Gallinari sign and trade, but yeah, that's okay because like you said, I'd much rather have Covington.
Yep. Or also, I'd much rather have than Oubre also, which is the guy we talked about.
Yeah.
Dang.
Oubre is gonna be the best player in Oklahoma City Thunder history, though. So
Facts.
I would feel terrible.
No, Lou Dort, bro. What are you talking about?
Guess we'll agree to disagree.
That's my boy. He's a tank.
So are you guys ready to move on to the mock draft?
Yeah. Let's do it, yeah.
Dude, I felt so special giving me a password to look at that file.
I know, dude. I was like, what the freak is this,
Reading
bro?
through it.
Who made
Let's
this?
not talk about that here. I'd hate to get in trouble. But you guys subscribe to The Athletic at all?
Negatory. Is it for basically everything?
Yeah, it's probably the best sports journalism website in the world. So basically what they're talking about is the draft preview released by Sam Vecini, who is probably one of, if not my favorite draft analyst, NBA draft analyst.
Dang,
So,
yeah, bro.
yeah, very interesting article, 100,000 words, 91 pages. Great read.
Yeah, it's so in-depth on each guy.
Yeah. Even Trace Tinkle gets his little breakdown. So, I guess, so for the draft, mock draft, I want to lay down some ground rules. This is sort of a hybrid. I'm going to be making picks, and then Kellen and Shannon will sort of be providing their analysis or some alternative options after I make the pick. And so the picks are kind of a hybrid between what I expect teams to do and what I would do if I were the teams. So basically, if intel or rumors are available as to like what direction a team is leaning, or if I can kind of read the tea leaves based off the history of a certain GM as to which prospect they might be more inclined to pick, then I'll go in that direction. And absent of any tea leaves to read, I'll just sort of pick who I would draft if I were in that team's shoes. This is kind of a fool's errand because inevitably we'll have more trades in the next couple of days that involve first round picks, and I could make some trades just for the fun of it, but that's just kind of gets
Let's
messy.
go, baby. It's trade season. It's so wet.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna I'll give my like ideas of certain trades that I think are more possible than others, but I won't make any trades for this official mock draft. But without further ado, should we get on to the first overall pick?
I feel like I know who this is going to be. That's sick, bro.
With the first
Wait,
overall
how'd you
pick
do that?
in the 2020 NBA draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to take Anthony Edwards, a shooting guard out of Georgia.
Wait, so what happened? Why is this the move now?
It's just better fit, dude.
I thought everyone was saying LaMelo Ball. I thought we thought it was LaMelo Ball. What happened?
I agree with Shannon. I think LaMelo Ball is the correct play here. But the reporting today suggests that the Timberwolves might disagree with me. And because that's the most up-to-date reporting we have, I think that's where I'm going to go with this one.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards is the best physical prospect in this year's draft. He set a variety of records at the combine. The foremost one being force generated off of a first step. So basically they can like the torque and the pressure applied by a prospect while he's running. And Anthony Edwards sort of set the record for like the amount of force generated. So that's just speaks to his explosiveness and his athleticism. He also is in the 99th percentile in terms of deceleration, which is something that prospects like Luka Doncic or James Harden both really excel at. So the physical tools are there.
That makes him hard to guard, dude.
Yeah, the physical tools are there for Anthony Edwards. I think most of the concerns about him are just like the motor. Like He runs a little cold at points. He's not always the most engaged on defense. His shot selection is terrible. He doesn't have tremendous feel for the game. But if he hits, he's got an upside about as high as anybody in this draft.
So when you say deceleration, that means he just stops on a dime better than anyone else?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, change of pace, all that stuff.
Okay. So that means that's actually kind of brutal.
Yeah,
Is he a pretty good 3-point shooter?
No.
Is he decent mid-range?
He's D-Wade recreated. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a good-looking shot. He shoots free throws at a 76% clip, and usually that is a good correlator to success as an NBA three-point shooter. I do think he'll be a good catch-and-shoot three-point taker. Like, I don't think his form is broken whatsoever. I think it's off the dribble where it starts to look maybe a little bit messy in terms of like sort of alignment issues. He tends to short arm a lot of the 3-point shots he takes off the move and leave shots short. So I think that would be my primary concern in terms of him shooting.
The pull-up is nice though, right? Like the mid-range pull-up.
Yeah, in theory, like if he hits if he hits his 90th percentile outcome, he's going to be one of those like Donovan Mitchell, sort of maybe a Zach LaVine who can get to a shot in the mid-range and make them somewhat efficiently.
I thought isn't he more like a bruiser though? Like a little more physical than those guys?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And that's kind of goes back to what I was saying. He's probably the best physical prospect in this draft. Like 230 pounds, 7-foot wingspan. He's like built like a linebacker. Football was his first sport. So yeah, he definitely can bring
6'5" linebacker, bro. That's a big boy.
Yeah.
Wait, I mean,
6'5"?
Yeah, I think he's 6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's 6'5".
Yeah, it's big. So yeah, definitely like a physical specimen. But,
yeah, dude, that's an NBA body right there.
Yeah, it's just, does he have the work ethic? Does he have like the skill? Because when you think about the superstar guards without tremendous feel for the game, I think the list really starts and ends with Russell Westbrook. Like, I don't really think it's hard to succeed as a guard in the NBA without like basketball IQ or feel.
Like that's basically what makes LaMelo Ball relevant, like his feel for the game.
Yeah. And Russell Westbrook is one of the most insanely competitive players in the NBA, which I don't really think you can say the same for Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
So I definitely think there's some bust potential. There's definitely some high-end, polarizing prospect. I think I'm maybe a little bit lower on him than what is the consensus.
But what you said about competitiveness, I feel like potentially the NBA could kind of bring something else out of someone. College, like they could just be all throughout college, just be thinking about the NBA and just not really like in the moment.
It's a real
100%.
thing.
And also, I guess this is important too. Keep in mind when I'm by no means a draft expert. All of this is just kind of based on the opinions I formed from just kind of watching film on these guys and stuff. But I'm by no means like a talent evaluator or anything like that. So this is.
I would say you are.
I would say you are also. I would also say you are.
Opinion.
I would say you are. Bro, is that just a little YouTube video that's the selection sound?
Yeah.
That's sick. That is so sick.
But before I move on to number 2, I just wanted to go back to Shannon's initial reaction, is that I would definitely take LaMelo Ball here too. Yeah. I think LaMelo Ball is the best player in this draft. And the real reason I'm kind of disheartened that they're not taking him is I don't get why D'Angelo Russell is such a sacred cow in Minnesota. Like, is he really that good that he is going to prevent you from taking the top player on your draft board? I don't see D'Angelo Russell as that kind of guy. And I also don't think the fit with him and LaMelo would really be terrible.
No, we talked about that. Here's my thoughts.
LaMelo Ball is going to be a warrior, dude.
I think that I'm going to talk about that. I don't, what I think this means is that Minnesota doesn't think they're going to compete now or within the next couple of years, because I think that if they did, I think you take the feel for the game player, which is LaMelo Ball. And since they want Edwards, I feel like what they're thinking is we want to take this guy and hope that he develops, like hope that he hits this high ceiling that he might have so that we maybe can compete in 3-4 years. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
What if he just balls out in his rookie of the year?
Yeah, that's a possibility.
And you could just, you never know.
He's probably gonna take enough shots to have the resume for it, but